Let me take my shirt off and not really move or flow to any particular like this pose or that pose, but just to kind of let ourselves just kind of move around the mat, and we'll feel like you're getting a whole over body kind of, all body I should say, warm up and workout. So let's just bring our feet to hip distance and just spend that little bit of time settling in. Close down your eyes and letting go of your morning. I know some of you are working from home still. And we want to just kind of bookmark the before part of this class and the after part of this class. So we're not letting anything that's happened in the morning kind of come into our awareness for this next 60 minutes, or anything that you may have planned for the afternoon, just kind of sinking in and dropping into this space and bringing full awareness to the four corners of the mat that we are on, starting to observe our breath and just notice. Notice where you're taking that breath as you draw it in, and give it a little bit of, just a little bit of direction. Drawing it in and letting it come down and then expanding. Being just careful not to draw it in and up, and that's a kind of shallow breath that we often see many people do, and we don't even know we're doing it a lot of the time. When I did my yoga teacher training, there were 27 of us in the room, and they took us to a breath workshop, and out of 27 people, one of us was not shallow breathing. So 26 people were all breathing shallow just into the top of the chest. So it was an interesting observation. So let's see if we can work on that direction, going a little bit more in and down, and then feeling that expansion. And once you bring awareness to it, it's a lot easier to feel or to take, I guess, to really direct that breath. Once you're aware, okay, I don't want to lift up, I want to bring it in, and then I want to start to bring it a little deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper with each breath in. There will be a gentle rising of the collarbones. That's kind of inevitable as you're expanding. But notice then the softness as you exhale. And the body just kind of, from that expansion, just slowly, softly drifts back to its usual position. And then now that we've got this connection between the breath and the physical body, let's take a scan through that body from head down to toe, and just a little check-in for you to see on this Monday afternoon, early afternoon, how is my body feeling? Where is there areas of tension and tightness? I think I mentioned to you at the beginning, my glutes are quite sore. Not sore in a bad way, just sore in a, wow, I worked them really hard yesterday way. So my awareness when I start to check in and travel down the body is glutes, which is not going to change how I practice yoga, but it will just, there will be times where I will feel, oh, I can feel, like if I just gently, here's my cat, shift the weight just now from one leg to the other, I feel my glutes. I can feel them, not pain, just they're going, hello, hello, hello. But if you do have any areas that are presenting with pain, or perhaps you have an injury that you're recovering from, just wrap a little bit of awareness around that. So for example, I have a knee that often will give me pain when I first put it down on the mat. I'm not really sure what it is. I've had it x-rayed and ultrasound and they can't see anything. So it feels a little bit like carpet burn. So sometimes you'll see me slide my knee back, and I've double matted while I'm at home. So I've got a little bit of extra cushioning to pop the knee. So that's what I mean about awareness. I'm very mindful dropping my right knee onto the mat, because sometimes there's a sharp pain that hits there. So you might have a few of those things going on in the body. So just know that nothing we do ever in a yoga practice ever is compulsory. It's all completely voluntary. And so sometimes this inquiry at the beginning can bring new things to the surface that we've been too busy to even notice, or there's been too much noise around us to even actually listen to the body or hear what she or he is saying. And in these moments of stillness and awareness where we get this space, we can allow all those things to just kind of surface and rise up. And that's a really, I think we're blessed to be able to have that time and space to do that. So let's now come back to our breath, and this is where we take those deep belly breaths or diaphragmatic or yogic breaths. So we want to take the breath with our next inhale as deep as we can into the body before we start to feel that expansion. So with your eyes closed down as you take your next inhale, drawing the breath in through the nostrils, following down the back of the throat, through the lungs, and letting it come all the way to the belly if you can. Feel that expansion from that point, the front, the back, and the side. Letting that breath continue to rise up and fill all the way to the chest. So at the peak of the inhale, your collarbones lift a little, your rib cage expands to the edges of the skin. And then slowly on the exhale, breath leaves the top of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs. We feel the diaphragm muscles shift up just a little. And as the breath leaves the belly, that navel draws softly in towards your spine. So a nice slow breath. We're not forcing the breath, and if it doesn't make the belly, that's okay. As deep as you can take it, and then feeling that expansion, and knowing that we're creating space from the bottom through the middle all the way to the top, and then offering softness and inviting softness from the top through the middle to the bottom. One more breath, and then we'll start to move a little around the mat. We're going to take a few low lunges, a high lunge, and see where we go. We might do a pigeon, or maybe if we've got time, a little dancing warrior flow. So we'll see. But with your next inhalation, let's peel the eyes open. Bring the hands towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and exhale. Guide the hands down to your heart space. And do that again. Inhale. I'm just moving around a little here. Exhale to the heart. This last breath, we'll take a nice gentle forward fold. Inhale, hands towards the ceiling. Exhale. Tip from the hips. I want you to bend your knees here so that your hands can comfortably rest on the mat. And then with your knees bent, we're just going to gently straighten into one leg at a time and start to kind of pedal or gently move the weight forward and back and side to side. So we're just gently warming into the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, backs of the knees. Hey, Jakey. There's my lovely black cat whose tail just about went up my nose. And then come back to stillness. And as you inhale, bring your hands halfway up your shins. And as you exhale, we want the crown of the head to reach forward. We were aiming for a nice flat back here. So you feel the glutes, the hamstrings, backs of the knees, calf muscles, pressing into an imaginary wall right behind you. Crown of the head reaches to the wall in front. Ardha Uttanasana here. Let's take a deep breath in. And on that breath out, release the hands back to the mat. And we'll take our right leg, step it all the way behind us. Nice big long runner's lunge. Drop down through the back knee. Inhale to lift the arms. And exhale, bring those hands behind. Fingers interlace here. Draw the hands towards the floor. Lift up and away from the buttocks. So shoulders come back, collarbones broaden. We open a little into the chest. Right knee forward, left heel's drawing back. Maybe send that gaze to the ceiling. A little opportunity to open a bit deeper into the chest and heart. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, release the hands, framing the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. Use your next inhalation to step that right foot to the front of the mat. And exhale, chest down onto the thighs. Nice slow spinal roll with your inhale. Feel bone step on bone. Hands meet for that tall mountain pose. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let's move the spine a little here. Inhale, fingers touch. And exhale, the right hand slides down to the right side of the body. And then we can inhale, come back through center. Exhale, left hand slides down. Let's go again. Inhale and exhale. And again. Inhale. Exhale the left hand down. So come back through center with an inhale. Again, we'll forward fold on that exhale. Now again, soften your knees, bend into the knees. Comfortably have your hands on the mat. We're going to take a little openness through the chest, a little rotation here. Right hand stays on the mat. As you inhale, this time straighten the left leg and take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Press firmly through that right palm. Maybe you draw that left shoulder back just a little more, twisting through that torso. Take a breath in. On the breath out, lower the left hand, bend back into the left leg. Left hand stays on the mat. Inhale, right arm lifts, and we straighten through that right leg. Pressing firmly through the left palm. Take a deep breath in. On the breath out, lower the right hand, bend back into the right leg. A little faster now. Inhale, left arm lifts towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower the left arm, bend back into the left leg. Inhale, right arm lifts, we straighten through the right leg. Exhale to lower. One more time each side. Right hand on the mat, inhale, straighten through the left leg, left arm lifts. Exhale to lower. Left hand on the mat, inhale, straighten through the right leg. Right arm lifts. Exhale to lower. Inhale to your halfway lift, your flat back. Hands halfway up the shins. Exhale, crown of the head towards the ceiling, glutes towards the back. Nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, release the hands back to the floor. And let's now step the left leg to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge, drop through the back knee. Inhale, lift the arm. And exhale, bring the hands behind. Fingers interlace here. We draw the hands towards the floor. Lift up and away from the buttocks. Shoulders come back, collarbones broaden, send that gaze to the ceiling with the breath in. And then on the breath out, release the hands to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We use our next inhale to step to the front of the mat. Exhale, chest down onto the thigh. Nice slow spinal roll with that breath in. Now keep your hands in prayer towards the ceiling. Find temple mudra, thumb and forefinger joined together. We interlace through the other three. Lift nice and tall with your inhale. Take that length on the exhale, lean to the right. So a nice stretch down the left side of the body. And then inhale, come back through center. And exhale to your left. And then let's go again. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. So come back through center now. Bring your hands back into prayer. Exhale and forward fold back down onto your mat. Inhale now, find your halfway lift, your flat back. Exhale back, Uttanasana, forward fold. Right leg steps to the back of the mat once again. Drop down through the back knee. We're going to flow a little here in this low lunge. Inhale, lift the arms. And as you exhale, just bring your chest forward, arms come up behind you. Inhale to lift. Exhale, float back down. One more time, inhale. Now this time on the exhale, right hand comes to the back of that right thigh. Left hand reaches towards the ceiling. And we start to just open up a little. Feel like you're brushing your fingers along the top of the ceiling. Opening up a little through the chest. Option to tuck the toes on that right foot. Take the right hand to the back of that heel. And open up a little more. Feel the right knee drawing forward. Hip flexor opening on that right side. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, left hand comes down first. Windmill the right hand. Keep the right hand on the mat. Inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Draw that shoulder back just a little. Another opportunity to rotate and open through the chest and rotate through that torso. Take a breath in here. On the breath out, let's release the left hand, but bring it to the inside of the left foot. Heel toe that left foot to the edge of the mat and just taking a little baby lizard pose here. Either we stay with our foot firmly planted on the mat, or you could just come over onto the outer blade of that left foot, bringing that leg a little open to the side. And just opening, you'll feel that through the outside of the hip, the glute, and into the inner thigh, the adductor. So just a little bit of a little gentle hip opening. And then slowly bring the sole of that foot back onto the mat. And we can heel toe that foot between our hands. Tuck the toes on the right leg. Lift the right knee. With our next breath in, step to the front of the mat. On that breath out, let the chest rest onto the thighs and take a nice slow spinal roll as you inhale. Hands can meet again for that tall mountain pose. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms. Perhaps we try a swan dive this time. Lead with the chest, arms out nice and wide, tip from the hips. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, nice flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Left leg steps to the back of the mat. Nice big roll runner's lunge. Drop down through the back knee. Inhale, lift the arms. And on that exhale, let your torso come forward. Arrowhead arms behind us. Inhale, go again. Exhale to lower. One more time. So this time we inhale, holding here, but on the exhale, letting that left hand find the back of that left thigh. Right fingers reach towards the ceiling, and maybe we just feel like we're brushing them along the ceiling as we open up a little more. Drawing that left knee forward, right heel back, feeling that hip flexor on this left side open. Option, option. Tucking the toes on the left foot, maybe taking that left hand to the back of the heel and opening up a little more here. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, let's release the right hand and release the left hand and untuck the toes. And can we just keep the left hand on the mat and inhale, take the right arm up towards the ceiling. A nice rotation here, pressing the left hand firmly into the mat. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, release that right hand and bring it to the inside of the right foot. And let's heel toe that right foot to the edge of the mat and just take that little baby lizard. So we can just come onto the outer blade of that right foot, if that feels okay, and open into that not hamstring, glute, a little into the inner thigh. One more breath, one more. And then slowly, just come on to the, back onto the sole of that foot. Heel toe that foot between our hands. And I just want to slide the hips back here. I can't remember if I did this on the other side, but we're going to do it on this side. Inhale to come forward. Exhale back. I feel like I didn't do this on the other leg. Did I? I don't remember. No. Okay, good. Inhale to come forward. We'll do it on the other leg. Exhale, slide back. Let's hold here and walk the hands back towards the knee. Draw the toes back towards the shin. Take a nice deep breath in. Lift your chest here. And then on that breath out, bring your chest a little forward and lower it down over that front thigh. Important we stretch the hamstrings. Feel as if that heel is energetically drawing back towards you. One more breath. And then just start to walk your hands back to frame the front foot. We're going to take that right leg out behind us and bend the leg here. You can just point the toes and draw the toes towards the ceiling, or reach around and take hold of the top of that right foot and gently kick it back into the hand. So we should be nice and open through the chest, and if you're able to take hold of the foot, maybe you start to kind of turn and look over that left shoulder just a little. Release that foot now and bring the left hand back onto the mat. Let the right knee come down. And I just want you to inhale and take that left leg out behind. Draw the knee into the chest with the exhale and step that foot between our hands at the front of the mat so we can work with the hamstring. Slide your hips back here. Inhale to come forward. Exhale back. And again, inhale to come forward. Exhale back. Holding here, toes draw back towards the shin. You can walk your hands to the back of the mat. Take a breath in, lift your chest here. Bring the chest a little forward, lower it down over the front thigh as you breathe out. So we want to feel this nice stretch deep and through the backs of the legs. One more breath. And then let's just start to walk our hands back to frame that front foot. And we'll take that left leg back behind us, bend the leg, point the toes, maybe just the toes lift towards the ceiling, or we take that right hand around, take hold of the top of the foot and take that little kick back. So a deeper opening through the hip flexor maybe a little twist through the shoulder, this little corkscrew pose. Release the foot. If you took hold of the foot, bring the right hand down and let that left knee come down. Little side to side movement here. I'm just going to turn front on. So can we just come to a nice flat or neutral spine, neutral back, and take some cat and cow. Inhale, let the belly drop, the chest comes forward, gaze forward or eye gaze to the ceiling, and then exhale round through your spine. And again, inhale. Exhale to curl, chin to chest, navel to spine, pubic bone towards the navel. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And then from that nice neutral spine, let's inhale, take that right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, slide it underneath the left, bringing the right side of your face down onto the mat. And today, I'd like you to walk your left hand to the very top of the mat and over to the right corner. So we get this gentle opening up through the front side on the left side of the chest here, as well as a nice stretch through that shoulder blade on the right side. Start to just let that left hand find its way back underneath your shoulder. As you inhale, press the floor away, slide the right hand back up. And on the exhale, we bring our hands all the way to the front of the mat for puppy pose. So take a breath in. Use your breath out to sink chin and chest down towards the floor. And I want us to flow and move a little here. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, go a little deeper. One more time. A little lift on the inhale, a little deeper on the exhale. And then a little option you can do here from our Anahata Asana puppy pose is press into the pads of your fingers to actually lift the palm of the hand off the mat. And you'll get a slightly deeper stretch down the front of the chest. I used to call these spider hands, and then I was doing someone's class and they said, imagine you have two frosted cupcakes underneath your hands and you're trying not to squash the frosting. And I thought that sounds much more appealing than spiders. But now I have to give you permission to squash the frosting. So bring the palms of your hands back onto the mat. As you inhale, lift the chest. Then on the exhale, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. And now let's take the other side. Inhale, left arm lifts towards the ceiling, and exhale, slide that arm underneath the right. So left side of the face comes down onto the mat now. Right hand walks to the top and over to the left corner. So we're just gently drawing that left shoulder back and opening up a little through the front right side of the chest. Start to walk that right hand back underneath your shoulder. And as you inhale, press the floor away. Now this time on the exhale, let's bring the hands length out in front. And come forward with an inhale for a nice low plank. And tuck toes and exhale back to an active child's pose. And do that again. We're just warming up the wrists, forearms, triceps, shoulders. Exhale back. Let's add a little tricep dip here as we come forward on this next one. Inhale forward. Exhale halfway lower. Inhale to press the floor away. Exhale back to that active child's pose. So this is where the triceps and shoulders get a little bit more work. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. So we're going through like a half chaturanga here. Inhale to press the floor away. Exhale back. This time we come all the way onto the floor or our mat. Inhale forward. Exhale nice and slow. We lower down. And then let's bring our hands a fraction wider than shoulders. Shoulders down away from the ears. Hug the elbows in. Rolling 3 cobras. As you take your next breath in, peel your chest off the mat. And then on the breath out, lower back down. Can we take our hands a little bit wider for the second one? A little wider. Inhale, peel your chest off the mat. Exhale to lower. And a little bit wider, even still. Maybe all the way off the mat. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat. Exhale to lower. Let's take those hands back underneath the shoulders. Tuck toes, lift through that nice low plank as you inhale. On the exhale, lift the knees, just let them hover off the mat. And then start to just slide your buttock back. So it's kind of like a bent-legged downward dog or floating child's pose, some people call it. So we just want to establish our upper body first before we come to downward dog. So press the palms of the hands firmly into the mat. Spread the fingers nice and wide. 2-piece fingers face the front of the room. Now we can start to release one heel at a time towards the mat as we pedal the feet. So lifting onto your toes and letting one heel come down. Lifting onto your toes and letting the other one. Just a gentle pedal into our downward facing dog. Letting the legs open up a little bit more. Let's take a twist. Lift onto your toes. Slide the heels to the right. Bend the knees and press the floor away. And then turn the heels to the left. Bend the knees and press the floor away. And then come back to your downward facing dog. Check your feet at hip distance. The heels are reaching for the floor. It doesn't matter if they don't quite touch. We want to bring our chest back towards the thighs. Feel the shoulder blades come to the outside of the body and then wrap them down towards the mat. Feel like your triceps are wrapping down as well. And then we can look between our hands and you might walk or step or jump your feet to the front of the mat with your next inhalation. And exhale the chest down onto the thighs. Bend the knees here, take hold of opposite elbows and just take a moment to gently swing or sway in this ragdoll pose. Shaking the head perhaps, yes. No. Relaxing the shoulders, releasing any tension through the lower back. Bring the hands now down onto the floor and with your next inhalation, take a nice slow spinal roll. Feel bone, step on bone. Let your head and neck be the last things that rise. Maybe your eyes stay closed just for a few breaths. Give your shoulders a roll out, back and down. Let the palms of the hands face the front of the room. Evenly distributing the weight between your feet. Softening your knees, gently drawing your pubic bone to the navel by your tailbone down towards the floor. Feeling those shoulder blades draw in towards the spine as we just take one more breath into Shavasana, mountain pose. And then let's inhale, bring the hands towards the ceiling. And exhale, swan dive back down onto our mats. Inhale to our Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana. Right leg steps to the back of the mat. Nice big long runners lunge. We're going to keep the knee lifted on this one. And take a little flow in high lunge. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, come forward and find that winged warrior once again. Inhale and lift. Exhale down. So this time, inhale. On the exhale, let's sink down into Anjaneyasana and find these cactus arms. So bring the arms nice and wide. Bring a little bit of awareness to the ball of the right foot. Just press it into the mat. Lift the heel, slide it back to engage the hamstring. Feel like you're drawing this right hip a little forward here. So it's a small tuck of that hip up and under. Then we can play around with opening through the chest now that our lower back is nice and safe. Maybe you get to draw the shoulders back a little more here. Maybe draw the arms back behind you and down towards the floor. And a nice open chest, a nice open-hearted movement. Take a nice deep breath in. On the breath out, release the hands to frame the front foot. And from here, I'd like you to straighten into that left leg, send the weight back, right heel reaching for the mat behind. Inhale, come forward, bend into that right leg, draw the pelvis towards the floor, go nice and low. And then exhale to slide back. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Holding here. So we want the right heel to reach for the mat behind us, relatively straight through the left leg, but try not to lock out the knee. And see if you can lift the torso a little on your inhale. Bring it forward and lower it down over the front thigh on your exhale. One more breath. And then let's just start to bend back into that left leg. We'll keep the right hand on the mat and inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. So another nice rotation here, high lunge rotation. Take a breath in. On the breath out, release the left hand. And let's now slide that left leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank here, high or low. Take your breath in. Lower to the floor with your breath out. Hands a fraction wider than your shoulders. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat. Find your cobra. Hold your cobra though. On the exhale, can we let the shoulders drop down away from the ears? Hug the elbows in, squeeze those glutes together. Take a breath here. Lower to the mat as you breathe out. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes. Lift again through your plank, higher or lower than inhale. Exhale back to your downward facing dog. Looking between your hands, you can walk, step, or take a little jump forward with your next breath in. On the breath out, release the chest onto the thighs, bend the knees, arms out wide, flatten the back as you reverse your swan dive on your inhale. Hands meet in prayer and exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, swan dive back down onto our mats. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Left leg now steps to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge. Keep the knee lifted. Let's inhale. Lift the arms for Anjaneyasana. Exhale, we find those arrowhead arms. Let's go again. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale. And this time on the exhale, we sink a little deeper into that Anjaneyasana and find those cactus arms. So this time we bring awareness to the ball of the left foot. Press it into the mat. Lift the heel a little, slide it back. Left hip a little forward and up. So we feel that hip flexor really engage, and that will protect the lower back. And then we can have a little play and open up a little more through the chest. Broaden the shoulders. Maybe draw the arms back and down a little. Nice heart opening here. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, release the hands down to frame the front foot. And from here, we'll just slide the hips back. Left heel reaching for the mat. Right leg relatively straight. Come forward, go nice and low here on the inhale, and then slide back on the exhale. And again. Inhale to come forward. Exhale back. One more time. Feeling that nice stretch down the back of that right leg. Holding back here. And just using the breath here, lifting, flattening the back or coming to a nice flat back, lifting the chest on the inhale. Can you come a little forward and then lower it down over the front thigh on the exhale? One more breath. And then let's start to just bend back into that right leg. Left hand stays on the mat. Inhale, take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Taking this nice revolve lunge to the other side. Pressing firmly through the left palm, drawing that right shoulder back a little more. Take a deep breath in. On the breath out, release the right hand, and then we can slide that right leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank, high or low. Take a breath in. Lower to the floor with your breath out. Let's take a look at Shalambhasana here. Hands to the side of the body, palms face the ceiling. On your breath in, thighs, torso, arms float off the mat. Fingers and toes draw to the wall behind. Crown of the head to the wall in front. You squeeze the glutes together a little more. You might lift the sides a little bit more off the floor. You squeeze the shoulder blades together a little more. You might lift the chest a fraction. Take a nice deep breath in. Lower to the floor with your breath out. Hands under shoulders. Now let's tuck toes, lift through our plank high or low as we breathe in. On the breath out, come back to downward facing dog or drop your knees and come to child's pose. Wherever we are, we're holding for 3 breaths before we take our next flow. So you can be here in child's pose or downward facing dog. And you can pedal through your down dog or you can stay in stillness. If you are in child's pose, use your next breath to lift back to your downward facing dog. And then from our down dog, we'll inhale, take our right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee. Exhale, draw the knee to chest, shift the weight forward. We're going to tiger curl here. Inhale, send the leg back, bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. One more time before we land. Inhale, send the leg back, bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest, weight shifts forward. We want to step the foot between our hands at the front of the mat. We want knee tracking over ankle, and if it's not quite there, pick it up and move it forward. Drop your back heel. Inhale, lift the torso. And exhale, sink into our warrior 2. Just checking that heel is lining up with the arch of the back foot. Your chest can face the long edge of the mat, but hips a little bit of naturalness. So chest here, hips here. Soften the shoulders. If you look down over your front knee, make sure your big toe is still visible and the knee hasn't collapsed in. Gazing down that middle finger. Let's inhale, flip the front palm, and exhale, reverse the warrior. Legs stay as they are here. Nice stretch down the front of the body, down the right side. Inhale now, straighten through the front leg, parallel the arms to the floor. Just let yourself reach forward. Try to keep the torso where it is. Just let the hand find the shin. Back arm towards the ceiling for triangle or trikonasana. Draw the left shoulder back a little, that left hip forward a little. Now use your next inhale to lift just halfway. Exhale, bend again into that right leg. Forearm comes down and back arm reaches to the front of the room for our Parsvanathanasana. Try to keep that nice straight line down the side of the leg, the side of the torso, out the fingertips on that left hand. All right, that's our little dancing warrior. Let's do it again. Inhale, lift the torso. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, straighten through the front leg, parallel the arms to the floor. Reach forward with the torso. On the exhale, the front hand finds the shin. Back arm towards the ceiling for triangle pose. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend into that leg, forearm comes down, back arm reaches for the front of the room. One more time. Inhale, lift the torso. Exhale, sink a little into warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, straighten through the front leg, parallel the arms to the floor. Reach forward. Let that front arm come to the shin, back arm towards the ceiling. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let that forearm slide down as you bend into that right leg. Back arm reaches. Hold here for a breath. And then use your next inhale to let that left hand slide to the middle. And your right hand, and can you draw your toes to the corner of your mat? Setting up for goddess pose. As you take your next breath in, straighten through the legs, bring the hands towards the ceiling to meet in prayer. And exhale, sink into your goddess pose. And let's go again. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale. We should have had my knee crunch then. Exhale and sink. Let's hold here. So I just want us to just play around a little. Can we go a little bit deeper with the breath? So on the exhale, can you sink a little deeper? Let's inhale, let the left heel lift off the mat. Exhale and lower. Inhale, lift the right heel. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift both. Woohoo! Exhale to lower. One more breath. Go a little deeper if you can. Beautiful. Inhale now, straighten through the front legs. We find our way back to warrior two. On the exhale, slide that left leg back. Toes of the right foot come forward once again. We're back in our warrior two. Let the right hand come down. Windmill the left hand. Turn onto the ball of your left foot. Slide that right leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank, high or low. Take a breath in. Lower to the floor. With your breath out. Left arm comes out to the side. Bend the right leg. Roll onto your left side. Let that right foot touch down behind you. I'm just going to change position. So I'm not got my back to you. And your right hand can stay here, or the hip, or the small of your back, or you might take hold of the top of the foot if that's available to you and that feels good for you today. Don't have to. And just kick that foot back into the hand. And you get to open up a little through the chest. Wherever you are with this, if your hand's on your hip, just draw the shoulder back. If your hand's on the lower back. If you did take hold of the foot, release the foot back down onto the floor. And we can all bring that right hand back onto the mat and roll that right hip back down. And just straighten the leg and slide the left hand under. While we're here, let's take a cobra. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat. Exhale to lower. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through your plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back to your downward facing dog. Good. Take a little pedal through your feet. We're back in down dog, and we'll take that flow now to the left side. So come to stillness for one breath in downward facing dog. And then use your next inhale to take that left leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest, little tiger curl. Shift the weight forward. Inhale, send that leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. One more time. Inhale, send that leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest, weight shifts forward so we can step that foot between our hands at the front of the mat. And help it along if you need to, dropping the back heel. As you inhale, lift to the torso. And on the exhale, sink back into warrior two. Now we're on the other side. Lining up that heel with the arch of the back foot. Checking that big toe is still visible if you look over the front knee, softening the shoulders. Chest faces that long edge of your mat, hips, that little bit of naturalness off to the side. Let's inhale, flip the front palm, and exhale, reverse the warrior. And then we can inhale straighten through the front leg, parallel the arms to the floor. Reach forward on the exhale, the left hand just finds the shin and the back arm reaches for the ceiling. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forearm slides down that front thigh as we bend into that left front thigh. Back arm reaches to the front of the room for Pajva Konasana, wide leg side angle pose. Let's dance. Inhale, lift the torso. Exhale, sink a little deeper, warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, straighten through the front leg, parallel the arms to the floor. On the exhale, we reach forward, let the hand find the shin, back arm towards the ceiling. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, slide that forearm down, back arm reaches. One more time. Inhale, lift the torso. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, straighten through the front leg. We reach forward on the exhale. Hand finds the shin. Back arm towards the ceiling. Lift with your inhale, halfway. Exhale, slide the forearm down. Back arm reaches to the front. Hold here for a breath. And then let's inhale. Lift back to our warrior two. Exhale, sink down. We're going to let that left hand come to the mat, windmill the right hand. Turn onto the ball of the right foot. Slide your left foot to the back of the mat. Find your plank, high or low. Take a breath in. Lower to the floor with your breath out. Right hand comes out to the side. Bend the left leg this time. Roll on to your right side. Letting that left foot touch down behind you. I don't want to be rude. Changing sides once again. And your left hand can stay on the mat. But see if you can maybe bring it to your hip and just draw the shoulder back. Or the small of your back. And the final option is to take hold of the top of the foot and maybe take that little kick back. Keep opening a little through the chest. This is a nice hip opening, chest opening pose. Let's take one more breath. Release the foot if you did take hold of it. We can all bring our left hand back onto the mat. Roll that left hip back down. Slide the right hand back underneath the shoulder and lift through that nice low plank with your breath in. Just come back through tabletop. So we can walk our knees towards our wrists at the front of the mat and cross the ankles here and sit back. And just extend your legs out in front. I'm just taking time. And give them a nice little shake. We'll take a twist before we come down on to our backs. So let's draw that left knee in and cross that leg over. We want the toes of the right foot to draw back. Hug that left knee in with the right hand. Left hand comes behind. Inhale to lift and lengthen here. And exhale, shoulder, rib cage, chest. Lastly, that head and neck turn to the back of the room. One more breath. And then use your next inhale to guide your head and neck back through center. Rest of the body can follow. Keep the legs where they are just for a moment. Bring your hands behind. And then just let that ankle sit on top of the right knee and draw the right knee in. And then start to adjust yourself here. We're looking for another stretch through that left glute. You might slide your buttocks back in towards your heel. I'll do it from here. You might slide in or walk the heel back. You might walk your hands in a little further. But we want to keep that knee. So the knee's not in here, the knee's pressed firmly away from us. So when we took that twist, we just worked with a nice stretch through the left glute. We're just going a little bit more. So one more breath. And then let's walk the hands back and just readjust yourself. Draw the hips back, straighten the right leg and the left leg and give the legs a little shake. And then we can draw the right knee in, cross that leg over, hug the right knee. Right hand comes behind. Inhale to lift and lengthen, and exhale. Shoulder, rib cage, chest, lastly that head and neck. So you should feel a nice stretch through that right glute. Slightly different area though than when we take this seated pigeon. One more breath. And then use your next breath in to guide head and neck back to center, and rest of the body can follow. And now we can just bring our hands behind and let that ankle, just let that ankle come onto just above the knee, and that right leg can flop out to the side. Draw the left knee in and then make those adjustments. I like to bring the buttock really close to the heel and then start to walk my hands in. So I keep pressing that right knee away. Slightly different feel. You're hitting a slightly different area in the glute and a little bit through the top of the side of the thigh. So not so much the glute directly itself. One more breath. And then just find your way back. Maybe you walk your hands back, slide the buttocks back, extend the left leg, and then extend the right leg. Give them a little shake. And from here, you might move yourself to the top of your mat and inhale, lift the arms, and on the exhale, we get to come down now onto our mats and draw your knees into the chest, and just to give them just a gentle rock. Just rock from side to side first, and then hands onto the knees. And now we get to start to make circles with the knees to bring that nice massage through the glutes and the lower back. So just take a couple in one direction, 3 or 4, which is not a couple, take 3 or 4, and then pause and change. Enjoy the massage. And then pause, just a nice gentle drawing in of the knees into the chest. We're going to let our feet touch down, arms come out to the side. Lift your hips, slide them a few centimeters to the right side of the room, and then draw your knees into the chest and let them gently fall to the left. Your left hand can sit on top of that right thigh, gently drawing the knees perhaps a little closer together or a little closer to the floor. Up to you where your gaze is, to the left, to the ceiling, or turning it in the opposite direction to the right. Whatever feels better for your neck here. And then let's bring that left hand back out, make that T pattern, roll over onto your back, let your feet touch down, lift your hips, slide them a few centimeters now to the left, knees back into the chest, and let them gently fall to the right. The right hand now sits on top of that left thigh, and we can turn our head now to the left if that feels comfortable, but it can stay in a completely neutral position. Sometimes it feels okay for me to turn my neck in the opposite direction, but I would say 50% of the time that doesn't feel super comfortable for me. It depends on how I've been sleeping, and necks can be easily jarred. So be nice and gentle with your neck, because that cervical spine is very precious. We don't want to cause it any kind of harm. We want to give it lots and lots of nourishment and nurturing. Let's now bring that right hand back onto the floor, roll back onto our backs. And as our feet touch down, slide the hips back into the center. And then draw your knees in towards the chest. Wrap your arms around the shins and lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Let's curl into that little seed pod, that little cosmic egg, where we draw the forehead and knees as close as we can get. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, lower the head and shoulders. Let the feet touch down below the buttocks. And then we can extend one foot at a time to the bottom of the mat. Feet open out to the side. Arms to the sides of the body. Flip the palms so palms face the ceiling. Close down your eyes and just let yourself settle into your Shavasana. So if you want to grab a jumper or pillow or a blanket, anything that you might have at home, grab that now before we settle into our final pose. And get as comfortable as you can get here. So you get to a point where you don't have to move. You want your body to be able to be still so you can fully sink into this lovely Shavasana, letting your body just sink and soften down into the mat. So fully surrendering, saying yes to receiving all the gifts and all the goodness that our yoga practice has to offer. Saying yes to the softness that's coming into the body. And even saying yes to your thoughts that are arising, rather than no, welcome them in. And watch what happens when you welcome them in. They lose their power when you're not trying to fight with them, you're not trying to keep them away. You just, oh yeah, there's a thought, come on in. What have you got for me? And usually they've got not much. And you find that you're able to drop back into your Shavasana. To just have that lovely, nice, natural breath in and out through your nose. And to let yourself just drop a little more, a little more. And start now to let your breath begin to slowly deepen. As you bring your awareness back to your space on the mat and your position in this room, in your room, in our Zoom room. And just slowly, slowly let that awareness expand beyond the four corners of the mat that you are on. Beyond the four corners of the space that you are in, to the outside world, the world around you. Start to notice little sounds that drop in and out. And then let the sound of the bells guide you back to your physical body once again on your mat inside your space. And start to invite some little flickers of movement and energy back into your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists, ankles. Gently let your head move from side to side. When you're ready, you could extend your arms overhead so your fingers are reaching for the wall behind it, your toes pointing to the wall in front. And just take a nice deep breath in here, letting your body become as long as it possibly can. Feeling yourself re-emerge, re-entering into your Monday afternoon. Bending your knees and begin to make your way over to your favorite side, resting your head and your upper arm and your forearm, and just taking as much time here as you need with eyes closed down, just to fully regroup and regather, to bring all of the lovely gifts and goodness that you receive from today's practice fully back with you and integrate through the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, whatever resonates with you here. And then when you're ready, just begin to slowly, mindfully make your way up to a comfortable seated position with eyes closed down and hands in prayer, thumbs resting gently in on your sternum in Anjali Mudra. Just take some time here just to drop in and notice how you're feeling now at the end of your practice. And then let yourself drop down into your heart space. Open it a little, expand your heart space. I just want you to drop into that space. The first thing that comes into your mind that you are grateful for in this moment, the first thing. Could be big, small, it could be a person, an opportunity, a conversation, it could be a thing, it could be a car, it could be anything at all. Pop that into your heart space, which is now being opened somewhat. And then let whatever feelings arise, let them come. Notice what they are. And let the full expression of that gratitude, peace, all of those emotions and feelings that are rising just flood your body. From the top of your head to the tips of your toes, to every cell and every corner of your body, every space between the cells and every space within the cell. Feel that lovely, those emotions, joy, perhaps love. You might feel ecstatic, you might be excited, you might be relieved. It could be one emotion, it could be 10. Let them flood. You get to take these feelings, this lovely feeling with you, this energy that we've allowed to flood through the body to nurture and nourish with you for the rest of your day, and share with all the people that are in your life for the rest of the afternoon, and maybe carrying on for the rest of the week. Who knows? If we sink into gratitude every day, we get to bring those emotions and feelings up and flood them through the body. We get to feel that full expression of that one little piece of gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me for our Monday middle day, early afternoon Zoom yoga. If you'd like to join me in closing the class, together we can chant 1 Om and 3 Shanti. Take a nice deep breath in. And take another inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.